What's good, guys? It's Sam here, and I wanted to talk about, in reference to the last video I did, about fat loss, which will probably be linked up here if you want to check it out. I'm getting ready to go on vacation, so I think this is probably something that could hopefully be useful to a lot of people. So I wanted to put it out here. A very common goal for working out or diet is to lose some body fat or lose some weight. And I wanted to walk through how easy it is to do something like that. Obviously, this is coming from my perspective, and I love this kind of stuff. So if you think this is difficult, you will create that reality in whatever you're doing because you believe it's difficult. I think it's easy, so it is easy. If you think it's hard, then it's going to be hard. It's plain and simple. But before we do that, make sure you press that red button that says subscribe and just gently take your finger and touch the thumbs up button. It helps with YouTube SEO. Lastly, there's a little bell notification. Just touch that. It lets you know every day when I post a new video. Come on, what's better than that? I don't know. I would say cookies or pizza. Definitely pizza. But I don't have pizza very often. So with that being said, let's get into the video. I want to talk about how quickly you can lose several pounds of weight and also fat during this process. Okay, so a pound of fat is on average. That was not me. I did not fart. Okay.
I'm just going to hold my nose for the next few minutes while that smell goes away. So you just be thankful that this is a video and not smell-o-vision, okay? But I lost my train of thought because I can't fucking smell anything. So a pound of fat is roughly 3,500 calories. So if you were to, and I put together actually a little example here. If you want, and this works in the short term. Our bodies are super adaptive. They're extreme when it comes to this because just the human anatomy and our brain and the way our body works, we adapt to things extremely quickly. Like, look at some of the conditions that some people live in around the world versus like the conditions that you might be living in and how people are still able to survive in these other conditions. It's because the body is extremely adaptive. So these will work in the short term, but you always have to be changing things up. If you've been following my content, thank you. But you know that my workouts are constantly changing. They're never the same. At all. I changed my diet up too fairly consistently, adding in carbs or taking carbs out or just going like a lower carb diet, and it's just always changing to always constantly be keeping my body in a state where it's looking for some type of equilibrium, and that's why I'm always changing things up. Now, with that being said, 3,500 calories. That's not that much, right? So that's 500 calories per day. Now you can do that in a couple different ways, and primarily three. And I'll advocate for the third option, but I'm going to give you the first two options, and then we're going to get into the third one. So the first one is just cutting 500 calories in your diet. It sounds like that may be a lot of calories, but it's really not that much. Coming from my perspective, who eats 2.5, 3 pounds of meat a day while I'm at work, not including breakfast or dinner, so I've got a lot of calories to play with. So if you're eating a shitload of calories and you cut 500, it's not that bad. If you're eating, say, 2,000 calories and you cut 500, that's a 25% reduction in terms of the calories consumed on a daily basis. Now, I'm not opposed to doing it that way. My personal theory on this is that I would rather not do that way because I'll get into it right after. The second option is to just go do more activity, right? Like go to the gym, do some cardio, burn 500 calories a day,
doing some type of activity, right? Maybe not everybody enjoys going to the gym. So what do you like doing that's active? Something that you enjoy doing. Whether you can go fucking cut wood in the backyard. Like, go do something that's going to burn 500 calories. You don't know how much that is or how much wood cutting that is? Well, then fucking Google it. There's a little thing called the fucking internet. Figure it out. Anyways, whatever activity or thing that you enjoy doing, because if you don't enjoy doing it, you're not going to stick with it. And it has to be, in my opinion, a lifestyle, something that can be sustained over time. So if you enjoy whatever it is, if you enjoy cutting some wood for your fucking house to heat, like, cool, go do that shit. Like, if you want to play tennis, do that. It doesn't matter what it is. If you don't want to be on a fucking treadmill or Stairmaster, then don't. Go do an activity that you enjoy doing to burn those 500 calories. So I like this idea more. I like both ideas. But one of them is reducing the calories by 25% if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet. I am not. I'm probably closer to 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day. And I have actually no idea. I haven't counted them in quite some time. But I'm 300 plus grams of protein per day. And the other one, if maybe you have a busy lifestyle, maybe you don't want to spend that much time doing activity. So you could do either one of those. My preferred method of doing this is cutting 250 calories a day, which is not much. If you drink soda, that's a can and a half of soda. Okay, like generally like a Coke, I think, or a Pepsi, a can of it is around 130 calories. So a can and a half of that, or maybe about 2 cans of soda a day. If you drink whole milk, you know what I mean? That's two cups of milk, 2 8-ounce cups. So if you drink a regular size glass of milk, that's a whole milk, it's 150 calories, or even 2%, I think, is like 130 calories per 8-ounce cup. So if you drink a regular size cup of that with your breakfast or whatever it is that you do, or orange juice, you know what I mean? Just go through and look what you're eating and just cut back 250 calories. It's a very small amount. And just add in some more fucking water. It will probably do good anyway, because a lot of people are actually dehydrated and don't realize it. Okay, so cut that back 250 calories per day. This is how I like to do it personally. And then just go walk. I'll walk on the treadmill at like 2 miles an hour, 2.5 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour. Depending on the speed you're going and the elevation or the pitch of the treadmill, you're going to burn a different number of calories. So I always do at the highest incline because I burn more calories and you engage more muscle fiber. You recruit more muscle fiber at that angle. So that's why I do that. And then that's literally somewhere, depending on the speed and the angle and whatnot, somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 minutes on the low end to maybe 30 minutes to burn that if you're really going slow and you're not at an incline. And you could probably do it in 10 minutes, just go a little bit quicker, and you can burn that 250, you know what I mean? Maybe walk at 3.5 miles an hour or 4 miles an hour and do it at the highest incline. You could probably do it less. I haven't looked into it, but it's completely possible. So what that looks like is this. So 250 calories burned and not consumed. That comes out to be 1,700, right? So the total calorie deficit at the end of the week is 3,500 calories. Now, I wanted to talk real briefly about why I prefer this method versus just cutting the calories. Your body needs micronutrients. So for all of the organs in your brain and just everything in your body needs micronutrients. So those are vitamins and minerals, right? So by cutting calories by 500 calories, a lot of people are not at the calorie amount that I am per day. So it's a larger percentage of their total calorie intake. So if you were to cut 25% of your total caloric intake and you're at a 2,000 calorie per day diet, you're depriving your body of even achieving your goal because you're holding back the micronutrients just from the food you consume. So I prefer not to do that. That's why I like a blended approach where I'll do a little bit of both. I'll reduce the amount of calories a little bit and I'll increase the activity a little bit. Personally, I just find it better that way. And you get to actually burn more fat, in my opinion, this way, because I'm actually doing the exercise along with it versus just not consuming calories and not doing anything. That's the method I prefer, but you can easily lose about a pound a week. As I mentioned, your body's always looking for that equilibrium, so it's not going to last that long. You have to always be changing things up. So when I do this, I tend to go in a progressive overload type of mentality where I will do the, say, 250 calories per day. As I get through to the second half of the week, maybe I started at 2 miles an hour and I did it 30 minutes. Then I'll go to 2.2 miles an hour for 30 minutes, then 2.4 miles an hour. And then I will continually step that up towards that until I'm at a brisk, more of a brisk walk, and then I will increase the time. So this way, I'm just always progressively overloading to burn more fat throughout the process of doing this. If you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, leave them down below in the comments. Also, reach out to me on Instagram if you do have any other questions. That'll be a link in the description. So the combination of both of those is 500 per day. 500 times 7 is 3,500. So you're burning, or you're not consuming 3,500 calories a day. If you're trying to lose a pound a day, like, summer's going to be here before you know it. And if you don't fucking put in the work now, you're not going to get the results you want this summer. So doing something like this, where it's just super tiny, you don't have to do a lot at all. You don't have a treadmill or a gym membership, you can go take a brisk walk around your neighborhood. Like, it doesn't take a lot. Grab a jump rope, go into the garage because it's cold outside, and like, do some Googling to see how many times you do jump rope. I don't even know how you fucking jump rope. Like, whatever it is, you know what I mean? When you do jump rope, how many of those you have to do in order to burn roughly 250 calories, and then fucking do that shit. Like, there's a gazillion different ways to do it, but start now, because if you don't create a lifestyle out of it, you're not going to get the results you want this summer. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, I'm documenting my journey of getting to $100 a day online. So I've got a YouTube series and an Amazon Associates series, showing you just what I'm doing to grow the channel, how I'm doing that, and the analytics. Nobody else is showing you their analytics. I'm showing you exactly what the results are through the analytics. Also, how much money I'm making through the Amazon Associates. If you do have any purchases to make on Amazon, it essentially just takes a little bit of that profit out of Amazon's coffers and gives me a small portion of that. So go watch those videos if you find that interesting, or if you have any other questions about losing some weight or whatever, leave them down below. I will definitely get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.